Alright, we're going out to the mountains today. Well, we're actually already out here, but I've been traveling for about an hour and a half. Took the turnpike for a good chunk of the time just to get out of the metro area of Philadelphia. Once I got about halfway to my destination, I jumped on back roads and I've been cruising like this. It's beautiful today. It was super hot in the city, so I needed to get out. I needed to find my oasis somewhere in northern Pennsylvania. So I figured I'd take you guys to one of my favorite places in the state today. I don't come up here very much because it's about 120 miles away from my house, but I had the whole day to burn some time, so I figured why not? Let's do it. We're going to Rickets Glen State Park. Taking the back roads adds about an hour onto my total trip, but I think it's completely worth it. I mean, who wants to be on the freeway when they could ride roads like this? There's a nuclear power plant. Very picturesque. But just to say, you know, like, the freeway is great for getting you out of town, and I like it when I have to cover a large distance. But if I'm ever given the option, I'm always going to take the twisties. This road is pretty darn fun. Ooh, that's a tight one. Second gear twisties. Alright, where are we going next, Google Maps? Right on River Road. That's a big site. Riding along next to a river down here and some railroad tracks, but it is so cool. Being by the water feels so nice right now. I swear I left 90 degrees in Philadelphia, maybe a little hotter with the whole real feel being in a big old oven because everything's concrete, but either way the air temp was 90 degrees and I feel like it's 70 degrees where I'm at right now. It feels so nice. I'm in full gear and I'm not even sweating anymore. And boy was I sweating on the way out of town this morning. This road is awesome. I love cutting through these little mountain towns on the way. Just kind of hop from valley town to valley town as you go along. It's pretty fun. It's a little slower pace. You're always kind of getting into these, you know, little neighborhoods, so you gotta slow down. But honestly, when you're riding, it's nice to kind of have the peaks and troughs. You know, you haul butt for a little bit, cruise at speed, then you come down to the neighborhood speed and just enjoy the sights. It's all good for me. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Alright, got the road to myself again. Man, the more that I ride the Scrambler, the more I appreciate that it's basically a sports touring bike. I would say it's, you know, an adventure bike could be called a sports touring bike, but I feel like they're more or less referred to as dual sport bikes. You know, they're more for off-road, on-road than they are for, let's say, canyon carving and touring. I feel like ever since I put these different tires in the Scrambler, it's become this new animal, this sport touring animal. And I love it for my style of riding. I do so little off-road that having that canyon carving ability with these tires that are much more road biased, that's the reason why they've really changed the dynamic of this motorcycle. I'm enjoying them so much. The Turrent's Next 2 tires. Metzler's Turrent's Next 2. They're a solid tire. They're nice and grippy. Don't gotta warm them up. They solved a few issues I was having with the original, more dual sport bias tires. And that was tracking. The tracking was horrible. Now I can really just ride so much more confidently, more comfortably. And what I feel the best about them is these tires like to be over on their side. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big tall bike still, but it feels a lot more confidence inspiring. Don't we love the word confidence inspiring? Whoa, what do we got here? Do we got a Sherman? Or is that a Tiger? Couldn't tell. But I don't think we would have a Tiger and an American Legion in the United States. Unless it was spoils of war. Maybe we would have a Tiger. Either way, that was pretty cool to see. Alright, we're almost there. We just turned onto our last road, 7 miles, until we reach our destination. Sketchy sandy roads. I saw the twisty sign. I got excited, but it was quickly dampened by all this gravel. That's unfortunate. Oh well. It's alright. We need to calm down anyway. But yeah, this is one of the most gravelly and sketchy, like, graded roads I've seen in a long time. And I'm up in the mountains, so let's just respect the conditions around us and get to our destination safely. Still ride on gravel, just can't go hitting the brakes hard in the corners. That is the hard part about the countryside, though. You find these beautiful remote roads with no traffic, but the problem is the roads are usually in rough shape. So you can ride them, you just can't ride them as spirited as you would maybe be inclined to. I try to promote safe riding, but we all get spirited at the end of the day. It's just, I mean, why do you ride a motorcycle, right? It feels awesome to go down the road. And we all have a little bit of a knack for going fast sometimes. Some more than others. We're only 1.5 miles from our destination. I can see the mountains. Let's make sure it's taking me to the right parking lot. Alright, get ourselves up to the high parking lot. So this is the southern entrance. If I want to go up the mountain in my hike, I can enter there, which is usually what I like to do. But today I'm going to go up to the top parking lot because I just like driving up the mountain. I think that's fun. It adds an extra 6 miles to my trip, but hey, we've come this far. What's another 6 miles gonna hurt? Elevation 2449 feet. So excited to be here on a motorcycle. I've only ever came here in a car, and it's just a very different sensation to ride a motorcycle up here. A very awesome sensation. Oh, thank you, Mr. Google Maps. I don't need you anymore. You did your job. So this is why Rickets Glen is so awesome. There is a very large lake on the top of this mountain, and a stream breaks from the lake and runs down the side of the mountain, creating, guess what? A bunch of waterfalls. And when I say a bunch, I mean like 21 separate waterfalls. Yeah, you only have to hike about 5 miles and you can see over 20 waterfalls. It's a really good bang for your buck in terms of how much hiking you have to do to get so much attraction. And, you know, like, I love hiking, but hikes are always that much better when there's a really cool scenic attraction. So let's go check it out. I'm going to bring my camera with me so you guys can see it as well. Here's a map of the trails. You start right up at the top, and you hike in, you go down one side, see all these waterfalls, then at the bottom there's a V. You can either go down the base to that parking lot I passed on the way in, or you can circle back up around this direction and then hit a cross trail back to the beginning, which is usually what I do. It's pretty sweet though. Rickets Glen State Park. It's beautiful here, and how can you not enjoy that? I enjoy it. This is our beautiful place. Something that Pennsylvania has to offer. Rickets Glen State Park. I love it. I love this part. Just walking right alongside the creek, the Cascades. It's beautiful. Time-lapsing with my GoPro. Pulled out the iPhone for a secondary camera. pretty awesome. I bet it's so loud. In real life, it's a powerful sound. This is the big one, 80 feet tall. Pretty spectacular. Going down was easy, but coming back up, that's some work. I'm tired. Let's continue the climb. Whew. Halfway up. I'm counting the stairs. I see a lot of them in my future. It's an intimidating sight. I know I gotta get that high up. Here we go. The GoPro just died. Now I'm onto the cell phone. Luckily it's got a pretty decent camera. We're just about the top of the mountain now. Got all the way to the bottom, hiked all the way back up. I got like 1 or 2 waterfalls on the way out, but I am ready to get on the bike and cool off. All right, we made it back to the bike. Got a new battery in the GoPro. We're gonna head home. All right, I got 112 miles. Let's get home in time for dinner. It's 3:45 p.m. Ooh, did I work up a sweat. I am ready to have the wind in my face. Oh, it feels so good. Just kind of rocking with my zip rope into my jacket right now so I can get some airflow. Woo! That was such an awesome hike. What a way to finish. Just going through these beautiful forest roads. I got 100 miles of twisties, if I want to do it that way. I think I'm going to do a little hybrid, some back roads, some highway, because I do want to get home at a decent hour today. I got work tomorrow morning. We're officially leaving Rickets Glen State Park. What a beautiful day to be up here. Kind of sad I got to go home. I love camping up here. I'm going to have to make sure to come back again this summer and do some overnight activities. At night, you can see the stars so good. I've never seen the stars as good as I see here. I haven't been to a lot of very rural places, but still, it is so much better than the city, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna have to come back pretty soon and do an overnight, because that sounds great. Red Rock Mountain, Rickets Glen, 2,495 feet elevation. Always going down this mountain when I drove a car, it was always so scary because by the time you finally got to the end of it, you had been braking so much, pressing on your brakes, that they didn't want to work anymore. Obviously, I'm probably just not a very good mountain navigator. I hadn't really had mountains in my life growing up in Florida, so I might have been braking the wrong way, I don't know. But every time I come down this mountain, I'm like, all right, let's just take it easy. It's a long downgrade. There's even an information sign that tells you how much and how long. 2 miles of straight downgrade at 18%. So we're just gonna let 6-gear engine brake us. See how that works. I know one thing, we're gonna get some good gas mileage on the way down. My screen says 99.9 miles per gallon right now. That's funny. That leads me to my point, or a point I wanted to make about the Scrambler today. So I reset the little thing that tells you your instant miles per gallon, like basically your trip miles per gallon. And since I started riding today, I have averaged 56.2 miles per gallon on this bike. For a 1200cc motorcycle, that seems pretty respectable. I know my CB doesn't get that good at gas mileage and it's 200 cc's lighter. It is 4 cylinders though. That thing's a little gas guzzler, getting about 30 miles per gallon in the city on that bike. But I'm sure I could do a little better if I was just riding on the freeways. But who rides a CB on the freeway exclusively? Not its intended purpose. The Scrambler, however, this guy, he takes me everywhere. And this is the perfect kind of day for a bike like the Scrambler. Like you do a couple 100 miles, go to a destination that's not super far, you don't need that much luggage. That's kind of the sweet spot for the Scrambler. I feel like the wind does eventually get to you a little bit, and just the overall seating position isn't as relaxed as like a classic touring bike would be. But I can't say that the 250 miles that I'm gonna ride today hurt that bad. I probably could keep going. It's just a beautiful day and I'm feeling it. But that's just me. Yeah, I think we'd all be feeling it. Who wouldn't be excited about this? I love my solo adventures. Well, that's where I'm going to leave you guys today. This was a really fun one to make. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Until the next one, I'll see you soon.